Hey guys, One here. Today I will give you some tips on defending your storm shield. Let's get started. Alright guys, so the first tip that I have for you guys is try to funnel the waves into 1 or 2 kill tunnels. So if you see up here, for this part of my shield defense, there's 2 funnels, right? So if they spawn here, they would either go here or here. If say they want to go to the middle, they would drop down right here into more funnels. So this funnel here and this funnel right over here. And if you watched my other video about kill tunnels, they usually walk 1 square, 1 tile sideways. So having that one open and this one open, that's 1 tile. They would most likely walk in. This is so many tiles deep that it doesn't really matter. They would automatically go to the center. And by then, they will all get funneled into this area. Into right here. That's where my storm shield is, which would aggro all of them towards that one spot. Alright, let's get to the second tip. Alright, so for the second tip is clear as many rocks and trees as possible for most of your sides, such as this side over here. I would strongly suggest clearing the trees and rocks because dragon users such as myself, we love to just dash into the giant wave, right? Okay, who's this random person? Don't worry about that. So we love to just dash into a giant wave like this, but if there's like a rock here or a tree here, we would just dash right into it, therefore making it less effective, and you might have like a giant wave crashing into your base. So make sure to clear rocks and trees. See, look, it's really clean here. Clear as much as you can. Alright, so for the third tip is use player jump pads. These jump pads over here, you're gonna need them because in Plankerton and Candy Valley and behind that, you're going to be running around your base a lot. I mean a lot. So you're gonna have to get used to using jump pads or like bridges. So if you say have a bridge there connecting to over here and then connected to over there and back here, therefore you can just like run on the bridge to the next area. But I would strongly suggest jump pads because they're more efficient and it's faster. Like this is how I get up to my over here, right? Say if I want to go over there, I would just use this jump pad, jump this way, alright? And then when I'm over here, if I want to jump over there, I use this jump pad. If I want to go over there, I use this jump pad. Like this. Right? So use jump pads, please. Alright, so for the fourth tip, it would be use wall darts. Wall darts won't pop the propane tanks. As you can see from my last video on what traps popping the propane tanks, use wall darts. Wall darts don't pop them and they do a lot of damage which can kill them. Don't use retractable floor splice or normal floor splice. As you can see, all of these got blown up from my last defense against propane tanks. Alright, let's get to the next tip. Alright, so for the fifth tip, it's going to be use the traps that pop the propane tanks at least 3 tiles. 1, 2, 3. 2 to 3 tiles from your main base. So if I say want to pop the propane tanks here, I would just set up these traps. They come here, pop. They'll most likely heavily damage these walls, but I can repair them, right? But if say they get all the way over here and start like attacking and blowing up here, it's not going to be good because my base is right there, right? So try to keep them at least a good amount of distance away. I would say 2 to 3 usually 3 tiles away from your main base. You can easily use like wooden floor spikes or retractable floor spikes or wall dynamos. They're really efficient at popping the propane, igniting the propane tanks, but you have to sacrifice those traps as they get blown up pretty quickly. Alright, let's get to the next step. Alright, so for your next step is to pay attention to your mini-map, because sometimes smashers would like spawn here, or little husks would spawn here. They would jump here and keep going here. And when you're defending over there, you're not going to be able to see them. If you're defending right over here, you're not going to be able to see these guys jumping over here and walking over there. Therefore, pay close attention to your minimap, because sometimes they would just pop up randomly. Well, it's not random, but like they would path this direction, and when you're like defending over there, you're not going to see them, and they're just going to go straight to your base. That's why it's very important to pay close attention to your minimap. Your minimap on your top right hand corner. Alright, let's get to your next tip. Alright, so for the 7th tip is try not to use wood. Use stone or metal, as fire tusk does double damage to wood, which wood has already really low health, so it's gonna break really easily. And nature husks, they would have advantage against metal. So, but metal has a lot of HP, right? So it's easier to maintain. Same with water husk, which is really strong against stone. So use stone or metal, as they have more HP, which can last longer if you encounter elemental husks. But please don't use wood, because wood has so little HP compared to how much like metal and stone has, that's not worth using anymore. Alright, let's get to the next step. Alright, so for the next step is avoid having direct line of sight with a smasher. So say a smasher is right here, they're coming down here, and if you're standing right there, they're going to start charging at you. But if you were, say, to be hiding down here, right, you see a smasher, start backing off. Because for the smasher to start charging, they want to have a direct line of sight with you or the base. So they have to zigzag without smashing into anything, walk down here and zigzag, which takes a long time and is going to block a lot of people, right? And then once they're here, they start charging, because the amplifier is right here. But you get the idea. So avoid direct line of sight with a smasher, just hide behind the wall like this. Alright, let's get to the next tip. Alright, so for the final tip is giving permission. So you go into your escape, edit permissions, there's a permissions list. If you want to give someone permission, they can help you ignite the propane tanks, therefore killing a lot of, well, at least doing heavy damage to a lot of the little husks as well. But the downside is, if you give them permission and they ignite it, say like right over here, it's gonna blow up everything in the area. So there's like a good reason to give permission, but there's also like a big drawback if you don't really know the person. Say it's your friend, yeah, okay, they can avoid like igniting the propane tanks if it's over here, but if it's a random, good luck. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and remember to leave a like if you enjoy what you're watching, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for watching. Peace.